Surely you've heard of a 5-step plan before. You've probably also heard of a 12-step plan to deal with alcoholism or other drug-related treatments. But have you ever heard of a 39-step plan? No? Well, neither have I, because that sounds absolutely dreadful. Who'd want to take that many steps just to try and deal with just about anything? So don't take the 39-step plan, take this shortcut. But wait, how does that pertain to this game? You'll find out shortly. Actually, it'll take quite a while, but you'll find out.
Bob, look at the time. You'd better think about catching your train. Bob's got to go to town tonight.
The voice rang now as false as hell. I looked at the clock and it was nearly 10:30. Oh, click.
I'm afraid he must put off his journey.
Oh, damn. I thought you'd drop that rot. I simply got to go. You can have my address. I'll give you any security you like.
No, must stay.
I'll go bail for my nephew. That ought to content you, Mr. Hannay.
As I glanced at him, his eyelids fell in that hawk-like hood which fear had stamped on my memory. A pair of strong arms gripped me round the waist, covering the pockets of which a man might be expected to carry a pistol. Yeah, you still didn't really think this out too well. I grappled the old chap, and the room seemed to fill with figures. I saw the plump one collared, but my eyes were all for the out of doors, where Franz sped on over the road towards the railed entrance to the beach stairs. One man followed him, but he had no chance. I stood staring, with my hands on the old boy's throat, for such a time as a man might take to descend those steps to the sea. Suddenly, my prisoner broke from me and flung himself on the wall. Jeez, I didn't expect that. The stairway had been completely destroyed.
He is safe. You cannot follow in time. He's gone. He has triumphed. Der schwarze Stein ist in der Siegeskrone.
There was more in those eyes than any common triumph. They had been hooded like a bird of prey, and now they flamed with a hawk's pride. This man was more than a spy. In his foul way, he had been a patriot. As the handcuffs clinked on his wrists, I said my last word to him.
I hope Franz will bear his triumph well. I ought to tell you that the Ariadne for the last hour has been in our hands.
Okay. I just said and. There's no and. That's just it. That's really it. It just ends. Yes, this guy who probably committed the murder of Scudder, I think that's what he was assuming. He's gotten away. Maybe. Except we're in control of the boat he was going to take. Then that can only mean he didn't get away. Aw, yeah. Look at us, boys. We caught the guy who killed Scudder. Oh, yeah, but what about the person who killed Carolitis? Techno rave? What the heck?
39 steps.
I'm not the only one who thinks the music isn't connecting to the imagery in the game, right? That this doesn't fit?
39 steps.
Acted like they just dropped a giant bomb right there. 39 steps! A boom! I mean, the only relevance of 39 steps is that's the pier they're going to use to escape from. Special thanks to Maurice Suckling and the Mustard Corporation, the Chinese Room, kind of a disjointed drum solo or a drum section. Because like they're playing on offbeats. Did Simon Meek really needed all of that special space just to... I mean, it's just blank space now. Okay. Funny how they scrolled and then a fade in, fade out. Sort of an interesting choice.
39 steps. I counted them.
John Puchin. So is that the author? I still haven't actually looked that up yet. I'm assuming that'd be the author. Oh, okay. There is resolution. Hey!
3 weeks later, as all the world knows, we went to war. I joined the new army the first week and owing to my Matabele experience, got a captain's commission straight off. But I had done my best service, I think, before I put on khaki.
Were you skeptical? Were you? Oh, well. I mean, what a resolution. Congratulations, you have completed the 39 steps. We hope you enjoyed playing this story as much as we did making it. Hopefully see you for our next digital adaptation. Though actually, thinking about what I said about the guy who in theory wrote the book, based on when he died, that wouldn't have made sense, right? Nah, I don't remember when his exact age and so on. Huh. Well, alrighty then. I'm pretty sure that's event. Yeah, events are... What's this black one? I didn't get a card? Why not? I clicked on every single thing. I mean, heck if I know. It's Peter Pinar! Okay, I'm not going through all those. Somehow I only got 14 out of 16 awards. No idea what I did or didn't do. In bookmarks. Okay, I guess you could save throughout part of the game. But yeah, that's the entirety of it. I have no idea what I did or didn't do to get all of those different achievements, but that's been my playthrough of the 39 steps. And I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the story. And I don't know. I mean, that really is the crux of it. If I didn't care for the story ultimately, then it doesn't really matter if the game mechanics were interesting or if it was a kind of a novel way to tell a story, because I didn't wind up liking the story very much. There were certain mechanics that I thought sort of made sense, made it a little bit more interactive, but a lot of it was very pedantic, was almost so fluffy, so much fluff that it just didn't even make sense. What I kept calling the glyphs, you know, I was being very sarcastic because it's like, oh, let me turn the pages of the book. You know, it just happened so randomly, and it's like you couldn't really. I imagine maybe you could fail it, but what was going to happen? You were going to screw up, and the story wouldn't progress. It wasn't a QuakeTime event. I don't know. I did like the visuals. I thought that it captured kind of the spirit of an older era decently well, but honestly, again, I think that other visual novels, even though they're maybe perhaps a little too stereotypical of each other, they kind of rely on certain tropes or setups that are so stock, but I think they're stock for a reason. They're more straightforward. So yeah, I just didn't really care for this ultimately. And I hate to leave off with a sour note like that, but that's just how I took it. But, you know, for those who watched, have you... Well, I always feel odd asking if somebody's played this as well, because then why would you watch a whole playthrough of it? But I don't know. What were your thoughts? Were y'all entertained? It's like, hey, you know what? I think you're nuts. The story was great. Or maybe, I don't know, whatever. But otherwise, that's going to be all. And when I come back, I'll go into something completely different. Because I don't actually have very many visual novel games. Not a big fan of them. But anyways, that's going to be all for now. I'll see you around later, folks. And as always, fruit and doggy.